Welcome back on Dynamod. Today I want to propose you a video about the original Warcry, because the original Warcry was not about the miniatures as the actual one, but it was a trading card game. Here we have one of the decks that we had, so we'll go to open it and see a bit better. It's something that has been released in 2003, and they had a lot of expansion till 2006-2007, so there were a lot. Sincerely, I'm not been quite interested about this, because I was beginning interested about, but then it was quite problematic to find the sets. And moreover, I don't think that they will be being released in Italian at the time, so it was really a problematic way to find the cards themselves. Still, it's, as you can see, a game that has quite a lot of interesting, I can say, value about. Obviously, my version it's in Italian, because at the time I was interested about it, and it was problematic to find the English version, because it was not so easy to find it. So now we can open this and see the cards. And here we can see what are the contents inside, and are the rules, so that we had the rules about, because sincerely I don't even remember the rules, because it has been quite a lot of years. Here we have this that it's about raising the strength. In some way this it's also in the new Warcry. And here we have the cards, so we have a lot of cards that can be units and so on. Here we have the behind part, and it was obviously the Warhammer Fantasy ones, but sincerely you can find really a lot of things to see, because if you go to see, you can find that there are a lot of different creatures with the strength, the effect and so on. So there are a lot of options eventually available, and there is something that you'll have really to think about, because it's a game with a really nice images, because see about this one, it's really a nice image, and you can use these ones as a referral for miniatures to modify them and so on, because they can give you a lot of options. Eventually they are really quite awesome artwork that you can have a referral about. This is a dead game, and you never supported it really good. Anyway, I want to remind you that when it has been released such game, you tried to enter in a market where there was Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, that trading card game, that it was one of the games that I played most. And really, there were a lot of competitive, and it's not so full. And if you think now Magic the Gathering is producing series of Magic where there is the theme of Warhammer 40k, and they are having success. Instead, a specific game released by the Games Workshop or is associated that had the rights to do, and it was not so good, because it was not with the mechanics, the things that they were attractive at that time. So there has been quite a lot of problematic. Moreover, because at the time Warhammer was seen as an elite game for the ones that was playing modelists and so on. So a game based on the cards could have made a really, I can say, catching of the people, because it was really interesting. But it was against games that were having a lot of success, a lot of following, a lot of ideas about implementation, nice images and so on. The images here are nice, still they are not able to catch enough. The mechanics were not good enough. Nice ideas, but not developed enough. And sincerely, it was also a problem about finding the cards themselves, so a problematic. I know some people that has at least one of such little decks and so on, but never deployed more, because the problem was the spot, the publicity and so on that was behind. A lot of people knew about the other games, but not about this one, and it's one of the things that declared the disappearing of such game, even if it would for a lot of years, because anyway it continued for at least 5 or 6 years, but at the same time it was something that it was difficult to find. Even I was going places where there were sold things about Games Workshop, it was a problem to find such things, so quite problematic. Anyway, it's not that Games Workshop never tried again with the cards. We have multiple ways that they had the cards about, and one of those were these that are the Age of Sigmar Champions, that it's a booster pack where there is cards related about Age of Sigmar. And also these ones are a problem to find, because I know that there are cards and so on, but it was a problem about finding, and it was easier to use the app than to find the cards, but the cards themselves were problematic. So as usual, Games Workshop, it's good about miniatures, but about the part of the cards, even if at the beginning with Warhammer Fantasy they had the cards along the game, it always had been a problem to find then a specific game related about the cards for Warhammer. That it's both for Warhammer 40k, that there's been released also games related about for Warhammer Fantasy, that has been the Warcry here. So multiple times has been done the games, the trading card games by the Games Workshop, and every time fallen bad. Anyway, I want to remind you that anyway, Warhammer 40k, for example, has been used as a sort of spot or so on with Magic. Now there is Magic that has specific releasing with Magic using the images of Warhammer 40k. Even think about Munchkin. Munchkin has a releasing with Warhammer 40k. So there has been a lot of releasing of other games that use the copyright options about Warhammer, that has success using Warhammer as images and so on. But still it seems that Games Workshop it's not able to find a way to make that their own games about cards are successful, but when apply the images and so on, the background of Warhammer 40k, Warhammer Fantasy, so on, to other games that are more solid game, then it's successful. So it's something that it's to think about. So from Dino Mode, it's everything. I invite you to put a like on this video, to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell, and to comment this video if you are interested in something about this video, or you want to suggest me some arguments for other videos. I hope to see you again to the next time.